must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is. It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa. The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
You know, when one is asked to talk about leadership in Africa, one's mind wanders in many directions, because in the recent past, the continent of Africa has been the subject of scrutiny from many quarters. There are those who are Afro-pessimists and take the view that Africa will never realize our potential. There are those Afro-optimists who take the view that the jury is still out on the success or otherwise of the continent of Africa. I am an Afro-optimist. I take the view that this continent has had a glorious past, and that this continent has had her trials and tribulations, but our better days are in the future. There are those who, when talking about Africa, are in the habit of dealing with Africa as if it were one monolithic block. They do not recognize that the beauty of Africa is in her diversity. And indeed, when you care to undertake a geographical survey of Africa, you will be amazed at what the West of Africa offers, what the center of Africa offers, what the South of Africa offers, what the Horn of Africa offers, and what the North of Africa offers. That is the continent that we are talking about today. And we are talking about her because she continues in many ways to punch below her weight. And many are the commentators who take the view that the reason why she continues to punch below her weight is because the men and women who have had the privilege and honor to serve her in different political capacities or leadership capacities have not served her well. There may be merit in that assessment, but those who are quick to judge, those whose only claim to fame is that they are professional fault finders, must ask many questions before they judge and condemn Africa unfairly. This continent, and I remember, and if we are to judge this continent fairly, we must go back to the past and look to the past and ask about this continent. And there are many who have written about this continent. How many of you here will forget the great writings of Senegal's Anta Cheikh Diop, who has documented in many ways the glorious past of the continent of Africa, the great kingdoms in Africa. When Europe was still in the caves, Africans were building monuments. If they were not building them in the Ashanti Empire, they were building them in Monomotapa here in Zimbabwe. And there is a sense in which all those have been consigned to the Museum of History. And those who look at Africa see Africa as a scar.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are
Yes.
deviant and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich,
Yes.
or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself.
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa TV, broadcasting all the way from Nairobi. Now, this afternoon, this is the People's Court. The People's Court will look at events that touch Africa, events that are focused on Africa, events that change the dynamics of the people of Africa, the standard of living, events that improve or change drastically situations, create conflicts, create wars. Are we in safety net? The events on the continent for the last 1 year or so have been very dramatic in some countries. In Algeria, people occupied the streets, demanded for removal of their president. He went down. But they didn't leave the streets. Those are the things that we want to look at. Why are they still on the streets? Whose agenda is it that they use? Who instructs them to do so? Elsewhere in Africa and Sudan, we have seen governments falling. But do they fall on African agenda or a colonial or a foreign agenda? I will be discussing this later with Miriam Ogutu. I will make these brief remarks, then we start the analysis. What is happening on the continent? We want to see in Kenya, for example, in 2017, from 2016 to 2017, there were several NGOs surrounding the Supreme Court of the Republic of Kenya. NGOs teamed up with the government, with opposition parties in Kenya, trying to dismember these same systems. State capture. They captured the state, they muzzled the state, they directed the judiciary, they captured every judge, every clerical officer. You saw what Rosalind Akombe did. To date, Rosalind Akombe, a surrogate of Open Society Foundation, still works for the UN. Are we muzzled by the agencies themselves? The story of Rosalind Akombe brings moments for the people of Kenya to know that we can be easily infiltrated. Infiltration took place. Rosalind Akombe came and worked in our electoral commission. She went and documented a dossier indicating how she was allowed by the UN and how she was a paid UN officer infiltrating an electoral commission of the Republic of Kenya, siphoning information to foreign agencies and foreign bodies. You all know what happened to Rosalind Akombe. She ran off with documents from the Electoral Commission, disappeared, given sanctuary in the United States, in the New York offices. You all know in Kenya what happened, what took place when NGOs teamed up, Kura Yangu, Kura ya Sauti, Sauti Kura, all these agencies teamed up. They always mushroom around elections. But during the normal exercise of civic education, these agencies don't appear in Africa. How many Africans can tell me that there is any agency teaching them how to vote using a ballot paper? They collect money from the hapless white guys in the metros of Europe, and then they come down here to call conferences, drink tea, and expensive lunches. But the people upon whom they have used to collect the money don't receive the money. The Kenyan cases, we have notorious agencies, Africog, Kura Yetu, Sauti ya Kura, name them. All these agencies, Kenya Human Rights of Makau Mutua, that documented the ICC documents, handed the ICC documents to the International Criminal Court. Remember that? Kiai, Maina Kiai, Harun Dube, Jonjo Muwe, they are again on the move. If you look at Kenya today, the things happening here, the Boniface Mwangis saying 1 million march, they are paid. They have been paid. Boniface Mwangi in 2017 arrived in New York on 22nd of, I don't want to tell you the date, the day, the time, the flight. But I'll tell you the return flight because his luggage got lost and his computer got lost. We don't know up to date whether he has got the computer, whether it is still with him, or he also knows exactly what was in the computer. But Boniface Mwangi arriving in Paris, something went wrong. The French agencies were not very happy with him. They denied him entry into their country. They told him, stay on the tarmac. These are facts for Kenya for you. Today, the same Boniface in 2017 returned, or 2018 early in February returned in New York. He was seen in the New York offices. Photographs are available of George Soros with the Africa director of Open Society Foundation for Eastern Africa. What were they doing? The negotiations that take place behind the regime change, the support, the logistics, the amount of monies that people get in order to come and infiltrate systems in Africa is huge. It's a big business. I'm stating these facts because I want to lay a case for any interrogator like Miriam to tell me, to ask me any question upside down or from top or from bottom to up. The situation in the Kenyan scenario, we see them of late have received several invitations to attend conferences in big hotels to lay down the programs. Today, this morning, as we speak now, the AfriCog, headed by Gladiwell Otieno, Madam, a nemesis of myself, we don't see eye to eye, but we talk as human beings. Because of what I did to her, in the ICC conference to save Dr. William Ruto on Rule 68. I have no regrets for what I did. And those who think I did wrong, you can accuse me. Or if you don't, go to the transformer and switch yourselves on. Because I have nothing to be regretful about. I did it with the strength, and I was supported by the entire conference. While the conference watched Gladwell Otieno dress people in uniforms, in t-shirts, saying Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto are murderers, they killed people, witnesses, and so on. Nobody in the conference could stand up to speak. I did. I moved the motion, fellow viewers, until the t-shirts were removed from the Rule 68. Some people who busted their chests here would not be alive. But that is God. That's God. I don't want to become a bishop now here. That's God. God comes once and helps once, but also comes once and destroys. For you who has not said thank you, wake up and say thank you quickly. Because God strikes. It is very bad. But here we are, we have regime change. We have people coming back again. The Kenyan capital is full of activities, hotel bookings, and everything that you see, the meetings that are being called. Last week there was another one. Africa is the mother of all of them. If you look at the agenda, the people that they have set to speak, these are quangos of imperial material Toskins that bring about this unity of countries. A man like Dr. David Ndii, a hardliner in mentality, a hardliner in intellectualism, a hardliner in social life, a hardliner in political life. What will he tell us about civic education? Are these agencies for civic education or for political education? What do we receive as Africans? I'll look at countries, Kenya, Uganda, Sudan, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and what else? Show me, I'll show you. When you look at this, all the pattern is the same. Refuse elections, create chaos, demand government of national unity. Are we together? The people of Africa are now used to the music. Refuse electoral reforms, ask for electoral reforms, reject the results, ask for government of national unity. If you look at the pattern, the design of regime change, well orchestrated, planned, equipped, supplied by none other than Kofi Annan Foundation and Vanguard Africa plus Open Society Foundation Africa of Eastern and Central Africa. If you look at it from the Ugandan point of view, you will find that Bob Wine is equally in the bracket of funding bracket. Activities, therefore, if a Bob Wine is planning to build a hotel of 10, 20 stories, where did he get the money? If the music in selling equivalent to the other Uganda musicians' music. Check the records. But back in Kenya, before I don't spoil my broth, Gladwell Otieno Springs as one of the few battle-hardened members of the civil society. The collapse of the cases in the Supreme Court and the subsequent elections that took place where Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta won the election and Raila Amolo Odinga boycotted the elections put a disarray to what we call evil society, in brackets called civil society in Kenya. From that day to date, the civil society has been in a state of coma. It has been in a hospital, in a special ward, waiting for switch off. But the events in Sudan have actually ignited a new spirit, a new level, a new approach, a new dimension, a new stamina. Use all the words that you can, find your lips very comfortable with. You will find that this new stamina has arrived to our countries. In the morning, we saw Cameroon needing what is in Kenya here. Cameroon, in the Yaoundé, the Americans are changing the tactic to make sure that they collapse Yaoundé before they grant independence and a state of Amazonia. If you look at other countries, in Uganda, for example, they want the opposition united in order to be able to be funded, in order to remove President Museveni from power. But what are the programs of these regime changes and this state capture of NGOs, state capture of the state? NGOs have captured states. In Kenya, they are ringing the state. They are using corruption as a conduit. Corruption of a conduit that makes it easy for the people, the poverty-stricken people, to agree to rise up against the government of the Republic of Kenya. If you look at their manifestos, their arrangements, their programs, it's very clear that there is new money that has flown into Kenya, and I would like the NGO, the director, the CEO, executive director of the NGO board, to check accounts of these NGOs to find out exactly what is new, what has arrived, what is in the menu. There are good NGOs that do very good job. I have never seen Africa sending goods to, collecting goods to send it to Adai, Cyclone Adai. I've never seen Africa carrying goods to Kana. I saw a coffee, a kote, auntie, a kote, delivering goods to people of Turkana using her hard-earned money. That is the spirit of Africa. I have never seen Kurayetu carrying food with the much money in dollars or euros that is poured to. That there's a surplus, let's buy some food and go and make a borehole in Erero or Kamrero or whatever you call it. I have never seen an NGO of my kind that I am looking for, the ones that arrange meetings to eat sausages and hamburgers in hotels of high-flying end of the palatial homes, sending food to hunger-stricken or drought-stricken or to families that are sleep hungry. But I've seen NGOs collecting money from hapless white metros of Europe, destroying it in palatial homes in Runda, in Muthaiga, in Karen, in Ritsuturu, in where you are, wherever you are, there is an NGO man living there with money that has been brought from metros of Europe. If you don't see that house, look at Maina Kiai's house. Where is it located? Runda. Man who has never won a case between a cat and a rat. A man who claims to be a lawyer, but has not won a case that is so big it gives him money to build a palatial home. He has used the money by going to tell hapless whites in Paris, in London, in Stockholm, that they need help. Where is the help? Where is it that somebody is teaching us about road safety? I want to come to the real thing here. Let's play it here. The road safety of the people of Kenya, the driving skills of the people of Kenya. There are NGOs that have gone to Europe to say we want to teach road safety. Where is the money? How many accidents? How many signposts have these NGOs erected in areas that can prevent accidents? Anywhere in Africa, wherever you are, tell me what an NGO has done for your place. Those people in Amazonia, tell me how many of these NGOs have gone to collect money outside Amazonia and come back. How many people have collected money in Biafra and come back? The people in Enugu are being slashed every night by the butcher called Buhari, but nobody is helping them. How many of these NGOs are working on behalf of the people? How many civil societies have told Africans to vote and go home? Instead, they tell them vote and go and get a rungu. Or get a club. Rungu in Swahili and a club. Big club to go and hammer people. Pangas, guns, arrows. NGOs should do civic education for our people in Africa to understand what it means to have democracy of a loser and a winner. In South Africa, for example, they have surrounded. South Africa alone has 1,966 NGOs. Tell me, I don't know how Ramaphosa, Brother Ramaphosa will be there on Friday evening. Maybe I can, your minister who invited me, I'll tell him what you can do, what medicine you can do with with NGOs there. 1,966 NGOs surrounding the government of South Africa. In Capedo Triangle, there was chaos. And that chaos, therefore, turned into killings. But if you go to Capedo, between Capedo and Baringo and Turkana and Rengoya Marakwet, you will find 1,200 briefcase NGOs. All of them funded by the French government. I would like to ask, is there any child in Baringo who knows French? How many people in that area in Capedo, the Capedo Triangle, and the Vitica Valley, what is it called? There is a valley there. where bandits kill people every day.
Suguta
Valley. Thank you very much, Miriam. How many of them, those bandits, speak French? What have we done to the cattle rustling to change the conditions of that area? How much money has been given to NGOs that are carried in briefcase and a paper? Kenya. Tell me why the NGOs of the French are concentrated in the Capedo Triangle, where there are springs, hot springs of gas, oil. NGOs serve as advance parties for oil discoveries. NGOs serve not to kill pollution, but add pollution. How many NGOs serve in southeast Nigeria, where the water cannot be drunk, where citizens live on top of water, floating with their houses every night? How many citizens are suffering the rate of pollution as a result of timber cutting in Amazonia, where NGOs have helped Mr. Beer to destroy the climate, to destroy the environment in order to earn a living and supply the French army that kills Amazonians? Viewers, the list is long, but now let's talk. Let me allow Miriam to interrogate. I have stated those facts. In Kenya, the NGOs appear during elections. After elections, they go to recess. Now they are appearing because something has happened. Why are the NGOs in Kenya not proactive? Yeah. I leave it to you, over to you.
All right, one of our viewers here, Julius Dima, is saying, Matsanga, you have turned your TV into mouthpiece of Africa tyrant and power-hungry leaders that are refusing to leave public office and wanted to die in office. The only way citizens can do is to rise up and remove them one by one. So I guess he's meaning you use this to talk against the bad leaderships in Africa. But also there are things that you've raised there are very important. You started with the Kenyan election and what happened. Rosalyn Akombe, she used to work with the UN. So she took her sabbatical, came, she applied for a job, she got it, and she disappeared, whatever happened. And that is still in contention now, whatever issues she was raising with the elections that happened in 2017 in Kenya. A lot of things happened there. So anyways, but we've seen, as much as there really some NGOs which are doing, are really not here to serve the interests of the things that they receive this money to do, but the others who are still doing a good job. But there's a recent research that has proved that a lot of NGOs, the money they receive for the development programs sort of are skewed towards rather things that instead of aiding, especially when they come here for the civic education or poverty eradication or things like that, they really don't do it for that. So they want to, they want to get money and cause, it's like a structural thing, and elongate that problem. They're not here really to solve the problem or to address whatever it is. So that is actually a research that has been, has found that NGOs, whatever development programs they have registered to be doing, they seem not to be doing that. And so when the international donors find ways into getting their hands into such NGOs, others are being used for the purposes of the regime change. So that also has been found. But also, I think, I don't know, there's always been a tug of war, not just in Kenya, but even in the US, between the NGOs and the government. Why is it?
Because
they've never seen eye to eye.
Yes.
NGOs
have turned themselves into political parties.
Okay.
We have turned the work of non-governmental organization is to supplement, to support the efforts that the government does not manage to supplement the efforts of an NGO. That's how I understand. That's how I understand the Red Cross. That is how I understand the origin, the manifesto, the objectives of Red Cross. But I want to come to the Kenyan Red Cross.
Yes.
Let's discuss the Kenyan Red Cross.
Yes.
It's an NGO. It's a non-governmental organization. It has opted to be by guarantee. Most of the NGOs in Africa are NGOs by guarantee. And I want you to get the difference. The NGOs by guarantee allow themselves to trade, to make business, to pick money, to build hotels, to build apartments, to build nightclubs. They can get money, use it, build, and send back. Many Kenyans, this time in Kenya, refused to contribute. They went on Twitter and said, we are not paying anything, because the NGO called Red Cross of Abasa Gulet in Kenya has turned itself into an NGO by guarantee.
And it is an enterprise now.
Yes, it builds hotels.
It has a TV station.
It has TV stations. It has a radio station, not only one, several radio stations. It makes money. It makes business. It has a section of that also ambulances that run to help us in times of danger. Yes, but it makes money in order to support itself. Why can't we generalize the rule? Why can't we change the rule such that the rule of original organizations like Red Cross, which was formed by a Swiss from Switzerland, stays neutral? You find a hotel of Red Cross earning money. It is occupancy 100% per night.
Yes.
Bona Hotel or Bona, where I don't sleep there.
Boma, it's very good hotel actually.
It's a good hotel.
It's 5-star.
It has an occupancy of 100%. So then you come after getting that money, you employ your relatives, you employ your cronies, you employ everything, then you come to fleece. You are fleecing us. That's why Kenyans on Twitter this time, when they said there was hunger in Turkana, they refused.
Yes, and Red Cross came and they wanted several millions of shillings. Kenya said no.
Yes.
Tell us what to do. The Galana Kulalu, that was Red Cross who was supposed to take care of that.
Yeah, of Galana,
yes.
That Galana. Look at the Galana.
And Abbas was taken to task to respond to how they used the last money Kenyans offered them, and the government also, the support the government offered them. He could not really give a breakdown on what that money did. So when you think an NGO like Red Cross, which has an international appeal, it's now engaging in business in this country. Has it opened itself to outside influence now?
Yes, it has. Management of affairs of these organizations are manipulated by external forces that come in to regime change. For example, if you look at the demonstrators in Khartoum, who is supplying them food? Where is the food coming from? Where is the water coming from? The main reason of why demonstrators in Khartoum went to the streets was there was no bread. Now, where is the bread coming from? Where is the bread coming from? It is coming from an externally injected funding of George Clooney. Is it Clooney?
George Clooney, yes.
George Clooney and Pendergast of a project called Enough. Enough project overthrows government. Enough project gets money from George Soros. They don't come to Africa with one face. They come to Africa with two faces. As much as they are crying so loud about Khartoum, they are also planning for another country. What have they done? If this money is transferred to the government of South Sudan, don't you think South Sudan peace process would have been far? Why is it that George Soros does not give South Sudan money? I'm asking Africans out there, Mr. John Bima, who thinks that I am turning my television into the place of dictators. Why don't you ask George Soros to give South Sudan some money? It will survive, isn't it? The peace process will be finished. Instead, they go and fund. They don't find South Sudan. They find an agency that will write negative stories about South Sudan. Is that what NGOs are supposed to be? Is that what NGOs are supposed to be? Miriam?
Yes, indeed. And we saw even in 2006 rumors of a legislative clampdown in South Africa's non-profit sector, including NGOs, were resurfacing. And of course, recently, Africa Confidential, which is an NGO draft law, would propose regulating foreign funding of South Africa NGOs and mandatory licensing of all international NGOs. So this is not just a problem in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania or Zimbabwe. Even in South Africa, just before Zuma left office, there were NGOs were very active in terms of, and maybe they even, contributed to his leaving the office. Of course, Zuma had his own problems in terms of corruption and things like that. But also it is said that NGOs played a very big role in, getting him out of power, and the government then was very worried. And I don't know if that situation has changed. But when you go to a country like Zimbabwe, this is the very latest from Zimbabwe. On Monday, which is this Monday, the government arrested top 4 NGO leaders who the state has linked to a regime change plot with foreign support. That is in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I was here last week, I shouted. Didn't I? I shouted, I said, Mnangagwa, what is your problem? They are coming for you. That's the truth. I'm not saying they should be persecuted. But the activities of how money enters these countries is what worries most of the intelligence officers. Any intelligence officer in Ugandan case or Zimbabwean case, for example, would be so worried when the price of petrol is 4 liters. The price of petrol in Zimbabwe is now 4 liters.
4 liters?
Yes. $4 a liter. Sorry. $4 a liter. You tell me how much that is.
That's expensive.
Yes, tell me. So what they do is they frustrate the government. And after frustration, then they come for you. They have blocked human rights work. You see, as we speak now, one of the conferences is taking place.
Africa.
And I believe that is, can you pick the conference for Africa, please? Bring it on top, it's live. Stephen, if you can manage.
Actually, that is a news piece, so probably...
Yes, it was speaking. Whom do they invite? They don't invite decent people to discuss. They don't invite, they invite, look at them, smiling. Yes. They invite people whom they can manipulate.
I've seen the lovely Gladwell Otieno there.
Oh, Gladwell Otieno is there. They are setting a stage for a regime change. So the government also equally should start relaxing, making sure we fight them.
But they were giving a report, what I've seen there from the headlines, they're giving a report on the state of corruption in Kenya. I want to read it tomorrow in the papers.
The state of corruption in Kenya,
yes.
Who has also looked at the state of corruption in NGOs.
One of our viewers here earlier said that they're wondering even how these NGOs, Anier Mabil, you're saying, have applied several times for jobs with NGOs, and with all qualifications one may have, it seems to be as if you have to be in the mafia to get employed. This just tells me that they're always working towards a hidden agenda, as in the case of South Sudan now, they all need to be kicked out of Africa, especially the UN organizations. So
you are right.
The viewer, yes.
Abel is very right.
Abel, yes.
You will never get a job. Try. You are a high journalist. You are reading journalism and the law. You will see one of the components. They will never give you a job. They know the people they give.
Okay. So what are some of the qualifications for you to work in these NGOs? From what? from
You want me to tell you offline?
sitting at the fence. Well, you're sitting at the fence and you're looking into the world of NGO.
Should I use my sitting on the fence?
Yes.
My page blog, sitting on the fence.
Just tell me now.
Hey, when I tell you,
Yes.
it might not be very good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the NGOs want women who are lesbians.
Well, the NGOs that support that, I've seen them crop up in
No,
Kenya.
I am now. Can I come?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you must declare your
Gender.
your gender and
your
sexuality.
Sexuality.
So that is discrimination already. Some want men who are hammered by other men. So it's normal. You go there and declare that I am hammered by another man. Then the job will come. My babe, you can't get it if you have not declared.
Oh my goodness.
You asked for it and I brought it.
Okay.
I'm a Christian like you.
Is it gonna go more south or?
Let's leave it there. Because some of us live in communities,
Yes.
we are used. We live in the same community.
Yeah.
I live in London. It is very normal in the morning on a train.
Yes.
When you are going, you see men and a man, they are married. You are sitting next to that seat. They have some kiss while going to work. It's very normal in a train. I have no problem with your life, but don't do it in Africa where the things are not done, because it could be a taboo
But
in some countries.
Yes.
So some NGOs are here to say, even if you want an askari job, they will not give you. The askari job, they will even ask you, because you are the one seeing what the two people who are working there are coming to do. You asked for it, get it.
okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, so the regime change at the NGOs are the guys who were arrested on Monday in Zimbabwe. One, according to an alert by a pro-democracy NGO, which is called Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition, police arrested Citizens Manifesto Coordinator, which is also an NGO, a Center for Community Development in Zimbabwe Advocacy Officer, and a Transparency International Zimbabwe. One of the guys works there, and another NGO. And so the government right now is worried because there's a serious threat of regime change, and it has been gathering some very interesting intelligence.
Yeah, every day. Mr. Nelson Chamisa is telling people he's coming. I'm coming to overthrow you.
So is it true that being trained somewhere for June something?
Yes.
You said there was reading.
The June uprising. Codenamed Zimbabwe.
So there's a training
Project
somewhere.
Zambezi.
Okay.
Shake my hand.
Because?
I've told you the project. Project Zambezi. Codenamed Zambezi for Zimbabwe. For example, who is training these guys? Jeffrey Smith. Who is Jeffrey Smith? Vanguard Africa. Who is Vanguard Africa? George Soros. Who funds George Soros? DSGE. Elements, ultranationalists. Elements. I'm not saying the entire French intelligence or French people are against Africa. No. Ultranationalist segments of the sections of intelligence of DSG train people to destabilize Africa.
Okay. So what we saw in Sudan, of course, there have been proof that some NGOs are behind what is currently happening at the stalemate that is currently happening between the protesters and the government in Sudan. Of course, being sponsored to stay outside, But also, I think, can't Africans have really legitimately want to, air their views in terms of protest, or it has to be always,
Is there a society that can protest? It's only now a society in Sudan. There must be a coordination, a highly coordinated protest.
And can the citizen of a country just do that by themselves without?
No. Sudan has no money. There are no dollars. Sudanese demonstrations were supported, equipped logistically by French through Central Africa, Jamena, Chad, through President Dabi. President Dabi, the butcher of Jamena, supported the demonstrations of Khartoum.
So in
now another one as another man who supported demonstrations. You remember Bashir and Efaki of Eritrea,
yes.
Relationship had gone sour.
Yes.
Most of the people demonstrating in Eritrea, in Khartoum, you saw flags of Eritrea on the bridge. Did you see them? They say next is Eritrea. They are the flags on. You saw them. So these are serious issues that every government in the region must be on the watch out. In Uganda, it is there, it's real. They are being funded. The funding is very clear. It's there. We don't need to hide about it.
But the same way in the morning we were talking about the places where regime change could be the only way out. Don't you think outside of Ambazonia, actually there are some countries in this continent that actually regime change could be the solution to a lot of the things that are happening in that
Cameroon.
country. Outside of Cameroon and other
Biafra.
countries.
They need it. Why? But these agencies will not go to Biafra.
And Eritrea, they don't need
change. They don't go there. They have never tried to touch Eritrea. If you get a problem of Eritrea solved, Al-Shabaab will be nowhere. But nobody wants to do that. We don't go that route. Abdisalam Ali said, why are you not going to talk about Somalia-Kenya relations? It is not good. Again, NGOs. Again, French ultranationalist agencies. Mr. Abdisalam Ali, you know very well the companies that are buying the oil are coming from France. They have teamed up with British executives to buy oil in the Indian Ocean. The regions, they have now supported, supplied the government of Somalia, paid for their court appearances. We are done. We are done what? We are done.
Yes, and I think what Abdi Samad wants to hear us talk about is the current stalemate where there's some officials from Somalia who are coming to attend a certain conference in Kenya who are not allowed to enter the country, and they were held at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and deported back to Somalia. The government has come out to issue a statement through the Foreign Affairs saying these officials, those who had, because they were a team from Somalia, those who had the right for visas were allowed in the country and they attended the conference yesterday, but those who did not have the visa were not allowed in the country. That is the officials.
But that's the protocol. You can't just leave your country without a protocol visa. Your diplomat, your visa will be given in the same day. Why didn't you obtain it? There, Juma, Dr. Juma is correct. You go back home. Yeah, this is not Uganda where every Somali is allowed to enter free.
Yes, Somalia, they come.
We are the only country in the world that allows the Somali brothers. I don't know why they come to bomb us every day.
But they don't really bomb the Uganda.
No, because but we allow them free entry. We don't know whether you are Shabab or who. We allow you. We are the only people in the world that allow you to enter our airport. You have done very good business in Kampala. You are the richest people around in Kampala with the high-rise buildings. Why do you kill us?
But even in Kenya, they're doing very well.
Wallahi ya Mungu. Mnatuua kwa nini? We give you free entry. We give you free visa. No visa requirement. The only thing we want you to tell us, if you are visiting Uganda and you are from Somalia, which elder are you visiting? Which elder? And once that elder loses you,
Will be answerable.
Yeah, the consequences. She has cut it short. They are harsh. Turkey also allows Somalis to go.
Thank you for
They have never gone. Why don't you do what we do? What is done in Turkey? You have never gone to bomb Turkey.
Turkey is far off.
We allow you, then you beat us. No. Things have to change. Regime change, NGOs, let's be very honest. Look at the boys struggling on the streets of Khartoum. They can't form a united opposition to lead the country. Even Bashir must be laughing in the prison.
You think they allow him to watch the news and see what's really happening?
You think he's being locked up in a cell of 24 hours? No.
He's in a maximum prison.
Yes, but there's a wing.
Okay, is there
special wing for heads of state?
From a former head of state?
Yes.
Nobody would have considered that a head of state would find himself there.
No, they do. Some
they made special.
By the way, the policies of Bashir were one of the best policies in Africa.
In terms of what?
Can I explain?
Yes.
Sudan is the only country where state guests don't stay in private hotels. They built their own hotel.
The government?
Yes, it's called Cafe. Cafe Hotel. You remember the city of Carthage? What is the current name of the city of Carthage?
Tell me, I've forgotten.
Yes, Tunis.
Tunis. So the
Tunis, Carthage.
It's owned by
the government. State guest, you have come, David, White Minister, Foreign Affairs, President, VIP. That is thinking.
How much? I don't think an American would sit there spying. That is spying. That is intelligence collecting.
It is to reduce. You are looking at it at the spying wing.
Yes, of course.
If you have gone for spying, but if you have gone for a conference, the government does not lose much money. The government employs the employees, pays the salaries, maintains the standards, it collects its own money. Each ministry is budgeted. So each ministry goes, for example, for us, we went under the Ministry of Justice, Chief Justice, because we were addressing a conference of 54 Chief Justices.
Yes.
So we were put in VIP, because for me, I was invited by, also extraordinarily, by my good friend Bashir. They put us in VIP rooms, one. A whole VIP room with office.
There are no spy cameras there.
They can be there. I'm also I disorganized them first. The first thing when I go to a foreign hotel is to disorganize their cameras. I'm aware of the equipment and I have it in my briefcase. I also disorganize them. They blur them. Wherever they are, I look for them. Choo, 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 choo. They will show. So then I sleep. And when you have given me room 244, I go for 246. Then disorganize you. If I see you arguing with me, then I know you have put something in there.
Then you go to a different hotel.
Yes.
Yes.
My friend. Like as we go to South Africa on Friday, I told them I don't need accommodation because I want to do my things in a relaxed manner.
When you go to South Africa on Friday?
Yes.
Okay. So Absamad here is saying that you need to...
In the evening.
After the morning show. What time is the flight?
Oh, don't worry. I don't always disclose departure and arrival.
All right.
I'll tell you over. You wanted to meet Miriam.
Nobody's targeting you. Abdisamad Ali is saying we need to distinguish between ordinary people to Al-Shabaab. So not every Somali is Al-Shabaab. We know that.
And that is true. We agree with you, Abdisalam Ali. We do. But we want you also to give us the real help.
Yes.
We want to get rid of these problems. NGOs have brought us a problem, and that's what we're having as we speak now.
Yes.
In Zimbabwe, therefore, the regime change nears closer, walks closer, eats together. It is about. They will come. Unless something is done, the triggers have been opened. Yes.
All right. Do you think should African countries improve on their governance and leadership structures, maybe that will reduce the need for external factors and influence and infiltrate the NGO world? Because mostly that is the excuse they use when they're coming to infiltrate our politics, our landscape, bad governance, human rights abuse and things like that. Should African countries improve on things like that? Will that maybe make the West less interested, or they'll still come for our wealth?
Let me ask you, Miriam.
They'll still come for our gold and oil.
Have you ever heard of a team from Kenya publicizing itself that is going to observe elections somewhere?
Like the US?
Yes.
They believe they have good governance, which they do.
Have you ever heard of a team going to Britain that is going to observe elections?
They have good structures. They don't need us to observe elections. They start voting a month before in the US, Here we need.
We don't have structures.
We need a prefect.
Yes.
It's terrible.
If you send, for example, I'm going tomorrow, my wife has sent me the ballot.
Yes.
For the elections, European Union mid-term council.
Yes.
And council elections.
The EU, yes.
No, even the council election in May. Before the end of May, we are going to vote. Now I am going to vote, tick, and send it back by DHL. It will arrive there. She puts in an envelope, and that's my vote.
Yes.
But here in Kenya, if you do that, the postman will be having instructions to open the bag.
You're way too far from, like even
and add more ballots.
And tick.
Yes, we have a problem. Thank you very much, viewers. That is the end of our, unless you have something else, Miriam.
And I think in Africa we joke too much. We really ever come to a place where we say we have matured?
Miriam,
we are toddlers
Mom,
now.
I've told you we are not mature. Where is the maturity here?
In governance, it's ridiculous.
There's no maturity in governance in Africa. It doesn't exist.
We only
will never be there.
That
has never been there. There's never been there.
The postman will add more ballots.
Yes, the postman.
And look for a bigger envelope. And
I want to tell you. I want to tell you.
With fake names.
In London, one of my friends, the Ugandans went there and got jobs in the post office. And these Ugandans now started the habit of stealing, opening people's letters. We had to go back to post office to complain. When you see a black man coming in on your door in London, yes, and he's delivering your letter, then he knows to you, say, "Oh, doctor, boss, you know your letters are gone."
A black man.
Yes.
A Jamaican or just a black man.
Whether Jamaican, whether Bahamas, whether African, where. They start to have bad habits.
Okay.
What? All these bad habits came from where? There was no visa. We look at the bad habits that we are seeing in the gold.
So we manufacture bad habits here.
Exactly. We are products. We export bad habits.
and corrupt the good.
Africans are very good at export. Yes. And Abdul Salam is saying, what about London is true.
He's saying all your examples are about...
Max Manyika is coming too late in Zimbabwe. He says there's no law and order. The law and order in Zimbabwe, how can it be there when an NGO is also infiltrating the rebels, training insurgents to take over government? Yes. They opened the letters. In the United States, your letter arrives at your doorstep. Nobody touches it.
UPS.
But you give Africa a job. Give East...
Are we that bad, really?
Listen, give East Europeans, those from former communist states, They open and take everything out. That's why part of the Brexit is coming because of these guys. The guys came from...
Not immigration.
No, it is part of migration and the bad manners.
From the Mediterranean Sea.
They start drugs networks. Drugs. They wash cars everywhere. There's a car wash, car wash, car wash, car wash, car wash, car wash. So now, the owners of the country who had used to petrol station car wash said these guys are going...
They're trying to make their lives easier. Car wash. You don't have to drive for a long period.
They used to be in Britain. They used to be provisional, what we call traditional garages for repairing cars. Now, when the East Europeans from Eastern Europe arrived, guess what they did? You tell me what they did.
What did they do now?
They bought big vans and put their mobile garage. So when you have a problem with your car, call one number. They will come at home, pursue your car, chin, you up, repair, pay them. No taxation, you know what? Things are bad there.
Or no taxation.
Of course, the garage will give you an invoice or will give you a receipt. It is not there. So the British are losing in so many ways. You can't document them. You can't collect tax from them. A mobile unit of akona spare na tires mupya ziko ndani. Do you see what is happening in Europe now? In Britain especially, it's like those days when the Indians from Uganda went there. They found all English people sleep up to midday. Indians wake up at 4. They have supplied newspapers. I told you my first job in London, the first week and the second day, I went to the shop in the morning at 7 to buy a newspaper and a milk because I'd been given a one room to stay in. The first job I did, the Indian said, "Where do you come from?" "Come from where?" I said, "Uganda." "Uganda?" "I'm from Tororo." The Indian said, "I was born in Tororo. My father was born in Tororo."
Until Idi Amin happened.
"So what are you doing here?" Yeah. I said, "Oh, you know now you fear to tell what has
you
brought you."
Did not say you're a rebel?
No.
You're supposed to confess.
You can't tell them because that is strictly with confidential between you and the state.
Yes.
Nobody can go to your place and see your file.
So that you cannot be victimized.
Because you don't know.
Yes.
For the sake of some of us.
Security.
Yes. So the Indian said, "So what are you doing?" I said, "No job, no nothing." Say, "Tomorrow, come here very early. Can you walk?" I was slender man. I will show you the photos. Very slender and handsome.
Okay.
And I don't know why you can't say I'm still, but I am here.
It's not in my place, Mrs. Matanga. I know my lane.
I was
just staying on.
No, you shut me out. You closed me out the other day. So let's leave it that way, Madame Max and Spencer. So. Miriam.
Yes.
They told me, the Muhindi told me, "Come in the morning. You know how to walk?" I said, "Yeah, I will walk." "You know this place very well?" "Yes." I supplied newspapers to 92 houses.
Oh, that's a workout.
No, that time I didn't need a workout. Ask anybody.
That will be a workout.
Ask people who saw me, like that gentleman here. He will tell you.
Oh, your friend.
Yeah, okay. He will tell you I was a slender, handsome boy with dimples going inside here. And by that time, everybody was crying.
What happened to the dimples?
Dimples have grown fat. These are chips. Things have changed. So The man gave me a job to supply viewers. I'm just giving you a narrative. How far and how things work.
Yes.
Why we are having NGOs educating people like in Britain. They educate people on what to do, how to get employment, how to fill forms. There is an NGO. How to collect second-hand clothes. There is an NGO. But we don't have NGOs in Africa that teach people even how to behave. They have gone and collected money that they are going to teach manners. They will teach Africans manners. How to laugh, how to use forks.
Yeah.
Yes. That there is an NGO here which is supposed to teach table manners.
Really?
Yes.
There are etiquette classes.
In London, there is an NGO that teaches you table manners.
Actually, here it's called an etiquette class.
Don't go to the restaurant and then catch like no. Eat slowly because the food is on your plate. It's not running away. That NGO is there.
Max,
have you ever gone with a man you love or a woman you love and she starts struggling for food when it is on her plate? Then you watch and say, what the life is this, man? What type of man am I, or woman did I get involved in?
Those are things. You can learn. It's not a problem. You can learn.
So the NGO in London teaches you how to eat.
I know even here there are etiquette classes. You can take your kids.
But they don't.
Can be taught etiquette classes.
They get the money from those people in London to say we are going to teach etiquette classes.
Here we feel that we have other important things to worry and to teach our kids. Etiquette sometimes is not.
And Max Manyika knows I don't like things like golf.
Why?
I don't do.
Max Manyika must knows a reason. Can you share with me?
No, he knows. He's my brother-in-law. Don't tell them. You know, these are the things that bind us together. Golf is not for me. Golf is for rich people. I'm not rich.
It's not for rich people.
Please don't pretend. You know, you see Africans and some women of late, they wear kofia, they are going that carried to do what? Go under there to look for men. Don't tell me you are looking for golf. What golf do you know how to play? Do you know how to play golf?
You can learn to play
golf. No. That is a game. That is a game for leisure.
It's all in the head.
It's for men like a chief justice, civil servants. They have made their money, the businessman, but she is adding injury.
I know where they have nice horses for polo.
You of late you have suggested so many. I don't know.
To try
where are you heading? Where are you heading, Miriam?
It's all here.
Miriam, where are you heading? Tell me.
I've been here. That's me.
You seem to be heading to a bowling, horse, now polo.
And I'll try golf.
Now golf. Where are we heading, viewers? This is Africa Courts.
This is
the NGOs in Africa brought more damage. Let's laugh a bit.
She'll get an NGO to sponsor my golf classes.
Oh. You can see the golfer have handicapped. What is doctor's handicap? You see, that's the problem. My handicap is that handicap. I don't know how to swing those things.
You learn.
I don't want.
Just sit down and watch Tiger Woods.
You know what?
Take your time and just watch Tiger Woods. Watch the PGA. Watch what do you call it? The Augusta. You remember Augustus? I think it ended a month ago.
You see what?
The Masters.
Yeah, I am very happy that I am here. You are here.
Oh, we can try tennis. One day we traveled to Wimbledon. And sit there with a hat and watch.
Abdesalam Ali can take you to Wimbledon.
Don't get Abdisamadi.
In fact, at times
Abdisamadi's first
we have all thrown our sticks at Madimen tree. Yes.
Of course. It's not difficult.
Maembe.
No, you just swing. Make sure you position your feet. I've actually tried golfing. You position your feet.
You fit to go and join Abdesalam Ali.
Abdisamad, you could be my fan partner. Abdisamad is fasting right now, so let's not do that.
Yes. is fasting. So
After Iftar,
after
yes.
let's arrange a trip. Let's arrange a trip to Norway, Oslo.
Not during winter.
No, there is no winter.
Summer
It's
is
next
coming.
year.
Summer is coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
So Miriam wants a ticket to winter.
I don't want a ticket. I can get my ticket.
We arrange where there is no match of golf, no match of horse
No,
black.
we have to get where there's all that. We need to try. You only have one life to live, doctor. First, we'll start with bowling. It's not very difficult. Then we go try some polo.
18 hours
No.
of what? You said 18.
18 hours. 18 hours what? He breaks. Ah, okay. When he's breaking iftar.
For 18 hours.
Yes. So anyway, it's good to try new things. It's very important. So all those, put them on your bucket list. So we'll keep ticking one by one. And then I'll take you to a classical music concert.
The only game we can
Do you
play
enjoy
here.
classical music?
The only game we can play here is squash.
Squash. I love squash. Badminton, yes.
No squash.
But yes.
We have squash here.
Okay, good.
Down here.
And I've seen a racket here.
No, two.
Was that
Actually,
tennis?
I don't have any partner.
I could play tennis.
Now we shake my hand. There you are. We become partners. That's the only game I play. Let's try tomorrow. Carry your cloth. You come early at 8.
No.
No, the time you come, we play 1 hour.
But there's no tennis court here.
It is here.
Where?
Man.
You have a tennis court here?
Squash. The one on the wall, you run and I run, I hit, I score that way, you score this way.
Yeah.
You will come out when you have broken to pieces.
No, I can't.
That's,
I can't. you can't beat me.
okay, fine.
I'm very competitive.
No, Stephen, come tomorrow. Let's have you witness this fight.
Stevie.
There is a gallery where people see us.
Okay.
Yes. Let's try it.
I'll make sure
Tomorrow, let's try it. Let's try it in the afternoon.
Yes.
If we don't have people's courts, we go. The rackets are 2, the balls are here.
Okay.
I lack someone to play with. But there is a good place here to hammer the wall and get tired. That's what I used to do when I came here.
That sounds like a workout. I just want to do it for the fun. I don't like working out.
Oh.
I think we should go now. Arab Olekimani.
Arab Olekima, you are causing trouble here in the studio.
I know which outfits. I can't wear those nice, wonderful outfits. Tennis. You know, for ladies, it's very sexy. So the nice skirts for tennis and things like that. So I can't wear that to here. So I'll think about it.
You can't wear what?
I'll look for another proper outfit.
Yeah, tracksuit.
I don't do tracksuits. I don't even own a tracksuit.
What do you really
I don't even have a t-shirt.
What do you really love?
I don't even have a t-shirt.
I'm going to investigate.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Viewers, thank you very much for all this. Remember, we were exposing the work from today onwards.
Yes.
Every time, my team will expose the bad elements of NGOs and the good elements of good NGOs.
Yes.
Some NGOs have decided to trade as a company by guarantee. Therefore, they make profit. For people who doubt why Abasa Gulet and the Red Cross are trading in hotels, is because it's a company by guarantee. Therefore, is supposed to make profit at the same time, do voluntary work and do services for free. Thank you very much, viewers. God bless you. God bless all of you until tomorrow at 11 when we meet again. Have a good night this evening.
All right. See you tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Africa. For now, it's bye-bye.
must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.